we are live on LinkedIn and Instagram. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Tony, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you're really busy. I'm not going to say anything about where you just landed. We will discover very soon where you were last week. But Tony here is the CEO and founder of an e-commerce platform that I discovered when I was at Davos, and it's called Meta Channel Holding. He's been there for driving this for a full decade. Like this is when e-commerce became a thing. So he's been through the ups and low and the COVID turns and you know the reviews, the stars, everything, the returns. We'll talk about returns. Tony is in Bern. I'm in Zurich, Switzerland, and he found the time to be with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks you, Rebecca, for the inviting and to share
You're
and talk about that discussion. Just to be sure, do you hear me double or is it okay?
No, I only hear you here
Good,
on the
good,
live.
great, great.
Yes,
Just that we are super with the tech and
the sound.
no,
Yeah,
it's amazing to be here. And I already told you before the energy what I experienced with you at WEF in Davos was so magical, and I'm happy to yeah
thank
share
you.
that again.
It is. We found each other in a bar because my friend, I was there with a friend who got some cake spilled on her umbrella, and somehow this made us bump into each other, and we had such a great evening. Davos was magical. It was my first time, and I just met incredible people. Yeah,
Very
it
great.
was so cool. And so
Always impulse.
I remember you were kind of pitching your story for like, okay, this is what I want. I want investors, and this is the why. And I'm like, tell it to me and convince me, even though I don't have any investment here to provide you with. But you already had a very successful business to begin with, and I was like, but why do you need investment, right? You're good. Just fly. But I suppose you have your own reasons, and we'll talk about that. But maybe let's start with your business. What do you do, right? What are you selling? What is your business model? Because that already is quite unique. Yeah.
I believe that the simplest thing, Rebecca, and all the people who listen is people know when they order something and they return something. I believe there is a big knowledge gap on what's happening with the goods that are getting returned.
Right.
Um, and it's a huge issue because worst case scenario is that these products are thrown away.
Yeah.
So returns are so much effort and so much work to reintegrate to circular economy. That's a huge issue for global brands, for the biggest platforms. And we just realized when we start our platform, hey, the return problem has to be solved differently. And on that journey, we realized, hey, there is a huge chance to make an impact and solve that problem on a sustainable base. So to break it down very easy, we solve the return problem of global brands and the biggest marketplaces on a
Yeah.
more sustainable way. And I believe the magic, or what you say, what's unique, how we solve it, because
Yeah.
that's what we are. And the Meta Channel platform is a construct of several companies I own. And we started even 10 years before. On 2012 we started. On 2013 we opened the first um, concept, and our return solution offers tech integration to the biggest platforms and brands. We have own retail stores, own e-commerce stores, which growth the last 10 years in a very beautiful way.
Oh wow. And this is when e-commerce was starting, I suppose, and that's when you saw the opportunity. But so I never really order clothes online. I know a lot of people do because the return is my problem. I'm like, no way I'm going to handle all of these packages and go to the post office again and back and forth. Might as well just go to the shop and try the stuff. And the irony is that I don't even try them at the shop either. So I could technically, I could just order online. Um, so how do you make this a more sustainable venture for the consumer, but also for the brands, I suppose, right?
It's pretty. It's such a basic model. We just made the process more efficient,
Mm,
more directly. You know, if normally a way, if someone sends something back, it goes to three station, and the logistic waste and CO2 you use is already exploding for just one part, one T-shirt,
yeah.
one head. It doesn't matter, and we just integrate to make short logistic ways, and then integrate it and reintegrate it to our own retail stores, e-commerce, and that's the whole thing. We just made a process. Also, on a business case, we make it profitable. We make it that efficient that it's also an interesting business case for us and for all the partners, that everybody earns money. And so the easiest way is to make the way more efficient, shorter logistic ways, better data integration, using AI. We're talking maybe later on that one,
Yeah.
to decrease the returns in general. And then the biggest impact, just we have the platform to sell the returns again to new customers, not
Mhm.
directly on the platform, also on separated platforms. And the biggest one that we own and we created is called Outlet King. It's
Okay.
a store concept where if we get the returns, we bring that to a retail store and sell it there. High quality brand product, which is a return for an amazing price, and that's
Yeah.
what working at the moment, or no, at the last 10 years, pretty well. And so
Pretty well.
we have like several playgrounds which we play the game of entrepreneurship, and combine these, and that's what big brands, big platforms love, that they have one partner which solves the,
The
I would
whole,
say, the biggest part of
yeah.
circular economy. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no point in like, I was trying to understand this with someone from the industry, and they were telling me about the logistical nightmare that returns represent for them, and how they will even sometimes just throw it out, because just financially it doesn't, the effort is too big.
Yeah.
And so having people like you to intervene and to also benefit us, the consumer, for the price tag that is probably very attractive for something new, not used, just shipped, not used, right?
Yeah.
So, so that is just, it's genius. It's really mind blowing. So well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I believe what's one big change, what came up, what's today also our USP, is in the beginning we bought the returns truck wise, and then the effort to have 10,000 people's returns, bring them back, put them back on. That was a huge effort and would never be profitable.
Yeah.
The key point was at the moment where when we are technically integrated to the brands, integrated to the platforms like Zalando,
Yeah.
Amazon, Decathlon, and all the big players on the market. That was the game changer in our business. And these
Yeah.
were hundreds of pages of contracts and
Yeah.
month long or even year long negotiation to have that thing done. And I believe that's the unique thing, that we are so on a digital side connected. Everything is connected to our e-commerce system. And
Yeah.
maybe for all the people who are making e-commerce, we work with Shopify. That's maybe something interesting about the concept, which gives us a lot of opportunities to integrate such big players on a very easy way and affordable way. Um, and yeah, I believe just to see what's working. The game changer was at that point when we were directly integrated, contracted, and connected to all the big players that we needed to.
So it's only in Switzerland for now, right?
And right now it's in Switzerland. We had last year started a testing in 11 countries in Europe.
Okay.
Um, so we are on to expanding to the European market. On my journey, maybe we will talk about a bit later. I was in America, and I had some talks with very interesting people about there. So the big platform which we build in the next years will be in Switzerland. but we already starting projects to go beyond Switzerland, to just see,
Mhm.
hey, because the return problem in Switzerland compared to Europe or even USA, this is the problem in Switzerland. We're already very um, on a sustainable way. We already do a lot of things good. Even a huge impact can be done, but Switzerland's impact is like that. Europe is like that, and America is like,
Yeah,
you know, uh,
it's a different ball
yeah,
game for
size
sure.
matters. And so if we really say, hey, we want to make an impact on that, we need to start where we can, and that's in
Yeah,
Switzerland.
yeah, yeah,
But
of
I
course.
believe it's going way more far beyond Switzerland.
And here, Amazon is not penetrating as much as it is in other countries in Europe. So we do have a bit of a disadvantage. So it's good that you are tapping into that niche. Yeah, yeah. No, after e-commerce comes meta-commerce. So I saw that you have, yeah, how do you think this is going to evolve, right? In terms of, because you're serving on your platform you're B2B, but you're also B2C. Explain to us, who are you?
Mm,
Um,
It's more, of course, we have B2B partnerships, but the
yeah,
big game we do directly to the consumer. Sometimes our brands or platforms like Amazon in between the work we do, and of
yeah,
course they get the commission for everything what they
or,
do.
yeah,
But
yeah.
overall seen, we work mainly in B2C
Yeah.
market,
Okay,
and doing there the most of our businesses.
understood. So 250,000 products. Yeah, that's quite something. Cataloging this must be a nightmare.
Y- y-
um,
Yeah, sometimes our team is like
AI.
AI. We
Yeah,
already checked once a photo analyze
yeah,
system, but that's
yeah,
way too far on a practical use today.
yeah,
But there are a lot of things coming, because right now sometimes I did, together with Patrick out of our team, we do the buying part on all the big products. And right now we have a customer which offered us 100,000 pieces returns and overstock. 100,000, and that's, we never had such a
that's
big
oof,
offer. That's on
yeah.
them. I believe these are, I would say, 26 to 28 trucks full of goods. So just
Wow.
that you can imagine how big that is. And then we
Yeah.
said, we don't even have the
You
storage
run.
capacity, uh, we
Yeah.
can rent some soccer stadium to place that everything. No, but these are things, in a worst case, those things get thrown away, because they're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
used. And there to have the effort and to have the big picture and to have the courage, or sometimes also to be a bit naive to try to solve that. And this is the interesting part, because challenges or requests like that give us even the opportunity to think much beyond our limits are today.
Yeah. How can you tackle this? What's the future of returns? And I think already it is a bit of an innovative space that no one really is familiar with. So you're already quite ahead of the game, but what are you going to do in the long term to sustain that?
I believe long term is the game, not in solving it. Of course, making the process better and better and better.
Yeah.
To really solve it, we have to start not by the return, to start by the order. You're
Yes.
Rebecca,
Thank
you're our dream customer of ordering, not trying, and keep it,
Yeah, I am. I totally do because I can't be bothered. But I heard about something called size as a service.
Exactly, exactly. I had a with some investors and family
Mm.
office I was also in Miami in the last weeks, and I had a call with a startup which want to generate like measurement machines which are placed in malls and everything, where you can scan yourself and you have a digital twin of yourself or a size chart, uh, and then this would be the perfect fit. But
Yes.
that's super, and that will decrease the return rate, maybe even on 10 or 20%. But we still have these look and feel, you're wearing red, is that fitting, is it fitting to
Yeah.
your skin color, to your to you
Yeah.
know is that looking good at, we can improve a lot, but it will be still, especially in a fashion part, maybe
Yeah.
not if you order something which is not so specific, but
Yeah.
especially in the fashion, clothing, shoes industry, we will always have return, but we have to start there to make an impact on people, on the knowledge of the people. Because if people know what's happening with the returns, I believe they're a bit more
Conscious. Yeah.
conscious
Yeah.
about how they return things or how they order.
Yeah.
Um, and also
Yeah.
for, we're a family owned business today. My sister, my best friend, and I own the business we have, and that's also to see, we lose a lot of money if the return rate is too high on products. And all the stores, if returns rate are too high, because most offer free shipping, the return rate makes the profitability of a business um, lower and lower and lower. At one point, nobody earns money. We sell a
Yeah.
lot of goods in the market, but no one earns money. And to see there, hey, how we can make an impact for businesses, especially smaller online stores, um, and yeah, just to interviews like that, Rebecca, help us to make people more known what's happening in the
Yeah.
world. And
Where?
they
Yeah.
will, maybe the next time, everyone who sees that, maybe think twice before you order five
Where
pairs
which
of
color?
shoes, 10 jackets.
Yeah.
What you really want, just order what you think, what you're gonna really buy or keep, and not just that you say, oh, I order a catwalk to make at home for for, yeah, to see what's fitting, and 90% I'm sending back.
Yeah,
That's
exactly, right. And well, this is a model, Warby Parker, these glasses, they kind of moved, and yeah, it was an innovative business model where glasses were always so expensive, and then people had to go to the shop and try them. And now you see, there you go, your branding is just so on point. Your hat and your jackets are so original. I was going to talk about that at some point, but yeah, so then they said, okay, no problem, you don't have to come, you just wait, we'll send you 5 different pairs, try them, which one you like best, and then return the rest, right? Now, here, I don't know how this would work because you still have, yeah, this is an interesting model. What if they don't return it? What if they, yeah, how they deposit for that,
I, I can tell you that business model, especially because I'm investor in a sunglass company,
yeah,
um, yeah, and supporting the business to grow, and on sunglasses, to talk a bit about secrets of sunglass business, and also optical glasses. The
yeah,
margin of these products are so high, you can
really,
afford, yeah, in normally, in the normal way, the margins are so high, you can afford to send something and send it back, because the end price and the end profit
yeah,
is still high enough to calculate that in. But
okay,
on clothing in general, or brands, you don't have that margin that you can make that in a profitable way. Or that's my
makes sense,
experience,
yeah,
what I have today.
sense,
And also, on, if you offer that, that's a kind of service, because a
yeah,
t-shirt that it fits, it's kind of
yeah,
more
that's
easy
what,
than a
yeah,
sunglass. Is it wide?
yeah,
Do I like the color? How it fits on my nose and all these stuff. A sunglass business, online to build and to grow, is not easy,
mm.
but it's a pretty cool game.
Um, so we talked initially about AI, and I know investors are all over AI, powered businesses or AI washed businesses. How can we benefit from that, right? How are you encouraging investors to look at you, and how are you able to leverage that? Is it by the cataloging, segmenting of products? And we talked also about the digital twin, like my metaverse self that I will use to meta shop. How are you able to dig into Web3, I guess, and slash AI slash yeah, I think these are the main technologies to support you now. Or maybe I'm missing something. Yeah.
the, of course there's always interesting technologies that are coming up, but in I would say these are two things, how we use AI and what's happening on Web3. I believe Web3 had a huge boost, and right now it's a bit more sleepy on the market. They're
Yeah.
happening a lot, but more a bit. I feel it a bit as undercover. It's
Okay.
happening a lot, but not in a big mass. But still, there's in a gaming industry, in a fashion industry, in a luxury industry, they're happening a lot of digital meta shopping in a metaverse in other escape that people identify themselves with products with their digital personality or how you want to call that. I
Yeah.
believe that will be a future, even is your our LinkedIn profiles, our Instagram profiles. These are kind of a fractional part of our personalities or outshowing who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
Um, and that will give a bump, what kind of clothes or things you wear on that digital part of yourself. But it's, I believe, still a bit early for that, but that
Yeah.
will come. Is already here, but that will come in a bigger scale when it's breaking down more easy, and maybe also the generations that are coming up. You said in the beginning, or in the pre-talk we had about, hey, I'm I'm born with that digital DNA, and I'm just I grow up without Facebook, without WhatsApp, without. I
Yeah.
just saw in the first years of my life, I didn't have that world, but I came full when that started. I was a teenager, and so I got that on. So I know the old world, if you want to call it, or the
Yeah.
real world, and I know the digital world, and that's a super interesting combination. That's also our business. We are huge in online e-commerce, connectivity, tech, AI,
Yeah.
and at the same time I know how the real world works.
Yeah.
And to come back to your question, I believe meta shopping will be a big thing, but maybe not in the next 1 to 2 years, maybe more in the next 5 to 10 years. And
Okay.
AI is so game changing in so much ways if you can break it down easy to use for yourself and your team, and that's the key.
So you need to train your team, you mean?
Or make the system even more easy. If we use um, we're right now having two interesting projects, which also can be interesting for other people here. We have one project. The biggest part in every company, I believe, is data. How you collect data, how you um, upwork data. Can I say that? Upwork data or
Uploaded
work?
or
No, no,
segment
no.
or dashboard?
Segmented.
Yeah.
Get more informations to it. And I have a dream perspective, Rebecca, that we are scanning a code. I don't know. Let's say it can also be
Yeah.
that Red Bull or a head or something else. We scan the EIN code, the code
Yeah.
which is on a product, and
Yeah.
then AI fulfills out of our data, internet, all the information which is accessible, um, fulfills all the data, product name, description, ingredients, searching the picture, make it,
Traceability, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that would be at the moment we have several people who are working on that process. That is um, I believe Elon Musk would say, a boring job. And
Well, he has a boring company too.
yeah, exactly. That's why I believe these jobs we can make we can we can make that automatically with AI if we know how to program it, if we know how to integrate it, and that people can work with it. That would save a bunch of time, would make our complete business model with sustainable returns. Because if we want to put it in a retail, we can take the shirt and hang it in retail, and then it's okay. If we want to build it up digitally, we need informations, photos, names, price, everything. And with AI, I believe we can make the data problem, which is a big effort today, um, much
Yeah.
more fast done and much more efficient. And is already in some kinds a game changer and will be a big game changer in the future.
But they have that with Candid, you know, this Swiss company, Candid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was once on a cool talk with the
yeah.
founder.
He's amazing. He's
Yeah.
a bit like a Roger Federer for he's been around. I think the first round was like 7 million, and then I think they're already on their third round, and it was already from the very start so promising. I think it's also where you can shop when you scan, you know, online where to access that good for the best price and have it delivered. But I didn't know about the components of, you know, what the ingredients and all the nutritional
That,
value and everything else.
that's that's the thing.
Yeah,
Samuel, when I had the call, I believe he has all the ground basics of how that's working. I believe
yeah.
on his idea is a lot more process thinking.
Mm,
Um, how he solved it, but I don't know exactly what they grow. It was
mm,
a moment ago, but the thing is, AI can make in so much ways the effort what we have today on a manually base much more automatically, and also
mm,
with graphics, with showings, with individual proposals on products, with
mm.
AI searching tools for the e-commerce store, with the user experience of, hey, how does AI can um, make proposals on products that you will see next on a behavior that you have, on thousands of customer paths on your online store. There are so many ways how can um,
Yeah.
the
Um,
knowledge, increase in the end your revenue. Make the experience better and getting the conversion rate better, but it has to be broken down on a usable base and acceptable base how it works for customers and our team.
Intelligent shopping, smart
Yeah.
shopping, or the Amazon shopping experience. I've passed in front of one of those shops in London. It's almost like the Barbie experience. You know, it's all kind of there, but it's not.
Yeah.
um, hmm. How about augmented reality? Is that a thing for your line of work? I know it is for Scandid. I know it's kind of funny because you could just one click and all of the items in your cart are scanned.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you save a lot of time. But this is encouraging us to consume, not to return or be more sustainable, right? In some way. But again, I don't know. Maybe the technology has to be easy on both ends, right? Um,
Yeah, and of course you want to make it easy. At the same, we have to make the people aware of what's happening. But I believe, to be honest, if you're honest with us, with all of us, we're in a very manipulative world of
yeah,
consumer behavior. If we sometimes we realize it, and I believe a lot of times we don't realize what's happening, and to be
yeah,
just aware of, hey, what's your need, what you really need, and not what's your passion at the
yeah,
moment, what you see, or getting caught in a shopping vibe. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, but
Buying is an
very
emotional decision, huh? But
always.
returning is a very rational decision.
Yeah, and with bad, also emotional, but on a negative way, on all the efforts you have to done. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. Um, or even to track if the object was used or not used, because you always have those people who will wear it with the tag and return it once.
that's I have one two funny return stories that I can share with you. And
Mhm.
at the one end, you asked me about Web3. I believe, if you want to call it NFT, if you want to call it digital twin, um, I had one in mind, a project to break down. If you order something online on a big platform, you want to know how much time that this jacket was already ordered and sent to someone. And if
Okay.
you would have an NFT of that particular jacket or
Product?
whatever it
Yeah.
is, um, and the NFT on the blockchain would track every step. This jacket was already 3 times ordered, and you're now the fourth that receiving that one. That you just know that, I believe, this transparency will come, and that could go even way. beyond the production process, that not only the jacket on a return basis measured, then
Yeah.
all the steps are measured in that one NFT, digital twin, whatever. That would be very interesting. I believe big brands already working on those projects, was I've heard.
Like to know bestsellers, is that what you're saying? Or to know the ones
No
that were
more.
returned?
Know that you know much more about the jacket. I don't know where this jacket is produced.
Ah,
It's
okay. So traceability. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
traceability of the whole process
Chain.
of the,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then also, not only till it's fabric and ready to ship.
Yeah.
That's the one point with a lot of people and companies already work, but then also to go after it's getting ordered, returned, where is it, just to
Yeah,
see that
yeah. So
whole
you can
story.
track where your
and
product is. Yes, yes.
and that would also be an impact for the brands, if a big worldwide brand knows exactly which ways the product goes. That could be
Oh,
a,
yeah.
a, a
Yeah,
very,
I see
very
what you
interesting
mean.
fact for the businesses as well.
To save on these products that we say never arrived but did arrive, and we're just asking for a refund, because I think some people have developed those skills, online shopping,
Definitely, I can
skills,
tell you, I
ninja
can tell you
skills.
three stories, Rebecca, three funny stories
Yes.
about returns. Um,
Yeah.
we we have the classy ones, when you see a beautiful woman's jacket which was worn at the party or anything, but then you see, like, you smell champagne or
Oof.
smoke on the
Yeah.
jacket when they return it. But the sick thing is, they wear that, and inside the thing, the etiquette or the label
Yeah.
is still on.
Oh,
They
yeah.
ship it back and they pack it beautiful in that our team, which manage the returns, don't see anything.
Yeah.
But the craziest one what I saw from Helly Hansen, we selling ski pants.
Yeah.
And if we have a ski pant, we received one ski pant, then it seemed everything perfect. But
Yeah.
then we checked the bag, on a pan, and in that bag he forgot to take out the ski ticket from yesterday. So he ordered a pan, went skiing with that one, had an amazing day. I hope
On the
on the
slopes.
slopes, and then send it back, but
Oh,
was too
God.
dumb to take away the ski ticket.
Yeah, the ski pass. That's wonderful.
So we have a lot of cheeky customers
Yeah.
that trying the best to, yeah,
To fool the team.
to
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you, some people develop the skills. I mean, they've been training for some time and they bypass all of it. It's brilliant. Well, your team is properly trained, I suppose, but who knows when they will replace all of these checkpoints with AI solutions. There's a company called UiPath, and their slogan, they're coming really hard into the market. They're new, but they're really growing strong. And they say, we create software robots so people don't have to be robots. So, I mean, in the supply chain space, it's a function that is quite repetitive, right? And I think there's a lot that can be replaced. Do you think that's going to simplify, complicate? What are the risks of that, or the benefits, of course?
mm,
I don't know. Maybe it's a tough question to ask. I don't know the answer either. I'm just
no,
considering
that's
the
so hard.
odds.
There are always two sides, there are always, um it's always a big chance and a big risk.
Yeah.
um and today, where that goes, I don't know.
Yeah, initially it's an investment, of course, to add AI to the mix, because I suppose it's not a cheap investment. But then in the long term, you can reap the benefits of that, or the short, medium term. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, but all the players have to be in the game, on it's so much people or companies have to be involved that it's really give the output that we wished to.
yeah, right. You depend. There's so many dependencies in your
Yeah.
industry, in your line of work. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. And I like when you said in the beginning, yeah, the innocence, the naivete that you can sometimes imagine, oh, I can solve this. I think I can handle these returns. No, you can't.
No,
um,
no, it's like I wished on some, yeah, sometimes we also have to say no for because we're not today we're not ready. But it's
no.
open the thing, hey, what we need to create that we cannot
Yeah,
handle
tackle this.
20,000
Yeah,
a shipment. How can we handle 100,000 or 100 millions?
yeah, yeah,
If you look on a global perspective, or
yeah,
which partners we can win to make it huge. Not only
yeah,
to think big. And in the last week, when I had the chance to be with a lot of entrepreneurs, what I told you on that mastermind,
yeah.
I learned, hey, think bigger to solve smaller problems.
Okay.
Think bigger to solve
Interesting.
small problems. and
Well,
and
tell us about this. I'm really curious, Tony. I wanted to ask you a few other things, but let's just dive into it because you brought it up. So, why don't you tell us what you did last week? Sounds a bit like a
I
horror movie, right?
no, it was more like a dream movie, I believe. As a I have to start. I believe people know who are Richard Branson, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal is, and Andrew Agassi. I saw 6 months ago a Netflix documentary when I watched at home about a charity tennis game Richard Branson, Roger Federer, Nadal, and Agassi did, and I was so it was such a good energy, and I loved the things that I said. And just 3 weeks ago, a friend, which I know years, told me about a mastermind on Necker Island. And Necker Island is the private island which belongs to Richard Branson and which is its home. He lives there on the island. And then I had the chance to join a mastermind, which was with 37 very successful entrepreneurs, which were quite a lot bigger than my businesses today. And Richard Branson was also on the island and joined some parts of the workshops. And
Wow.
then I had a week of, yeah, you have to imagine, it's like our energy. You share a mentality that you want to make an impact, and I want to do that, and that gives also a very big power. And at the moment, if you have 37 energized and very very powerful people, and then you have a that was the first, how you say in English, billionaire
Yeah.
that I met, and had the chance from a morning tennis game, eating lunch, went into kite surfing, biking,
Wow.
talking. I had so much chances to talk with Richard Branson, and that was just inspiring. How he goes around, as his energy is inspiring. His
Yeah.
like grounded and humble human being with everyone. His interest at the topics that matter for me. He has so much questions about, and he has such a beautiful energy that motivate, inspired. And I had one crazy talk. I talked, we solve return problems and we do that. And then he said, "Oh, you're working with Amazon. That just 2 days ago, Jeff Bezos was here and we played pickleball."
Oh my
How
God.
crazy is that? Just and so I got a lot of inspiring words, motivational words that he shared with me. Also, real personal and entrepreneurial tips he gave. And the thing what I just said is like is an example of him. He said, like, sometimes you have to think bigger to solve smaller problems, and that's just one sentence. And
Your
of course,
mantra now. Yeah.
it's at some point, or just think that way. If you
Mm,
have, hey, we can't handle that today like that, or we have an issue, a problem here, um, and then if you think how we can solve that with our infrastructure today, then you're limited. And if you say, hey, if we have more retail stores, if you have bigger challenges, if you have another finance structure, sometimes it's, or often also at our base or other companies and startups, it's a financial power that's missing,
mm,
to make to make things that could solve that big problem. And so, um,
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard something similar where, oh, if you're going to build a web page, don't go for a landing page, just go for a full page because the amount of work is the same. just go for something that is going to be more sustainable, right? Because the work is the same. Just do it well. I guess it's something to, because success has to be planned. I didn't know that. I didn't I would have, I never had a plan B. I don't know if you're a plan B kind of guy. I always had the plan A, and if it fails, then I'm screwed. Because it would like push me to deliver the plan A.
One
Um,
very good one very good quote that Richard mentioned a lot: screw it, let's do it.
yeah, yeah,
um and I believe it's, of course, it's like, hey, do a full web page and not the landing page. But
mm,
I believe, especially if young entrepreneurs or people listening to that interview we have now, at one point you have to start. If you don't have the um, if you want to, you can make a plan, you can find investors, you can
yeah,
build that from the beginning on a big scale. But at
yeah,
some point you just need to have some experience, to have some learnings about how it maybe not work, to be at one point in the last decade what I did. Now you see the success, what we have, or the company where it is. But we had a lot of failures. We had like three online concepts that failed completely, and that we screwed up because we were such away from the market, technically not what we planned to do, didn't work on a practical work. And these are all the learnings that you have, and you don't have them if you're starting on a business, or that's my mentality. I need to do it, I need to learn it, and then scale it up. Um so so I would say it's almost the same effort on a landing page or a page. But maybe for some people out there, it's good to even start with a landing page
yeah,
and you have something, than to try to make the whole, um which
yeah,
maybe on some points nearly the same work, but a lot of more knowledge or people are needed.
yeah. And then e-commerce is yet another complexity. But so, what was your biggest lesson there? And what is a mastermind so people can follow?
Yeah, a mastermind is like, easy say, you have male and female masters and minds, our brain, and that meet up together with the purpose to have an impact, and to create something, to put the heads together and to create something great, or just inspire or energize. And I believe for all the entrepreneurs which were on Necker Island, with Richard together, had the thing to I would say, to break down their own limitations. And if someone is a good role model for breaking all the limits, it's Richard Branson's mentality on, hey, I have a record company and I build a fucking airline.
Yeah.
Or I have an airline, I do voyages. I do,
Oh,
I
and now
just
I also have a rocket company. No,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So much things he did. I believe he broke all the limits that people in a normal way or rational think would say an entrepreneur
Forget
shouldn't
it.
do
Yeah,
that all of that. But at the end, in a deep talks we had, he said also, you have to be born for that mentality what he lives, and I can identify a lot to. He said, I was always over the limit, also on my financial resources, risks
yeah.
that I
Always
took.
living on the
He was
edge.
also he was yeah, he said, I lived over
Over
the
the.
edge, and I was hanging on a cliff with one hand. And at some points I was lucky enough that anyone helped me, grab my hand, and pulled me up again. That was not a single work, but I decided always to go that risk, to go that way. and um
Yeah.
and that was super motivating. And I've I've
Oh,
two big learnings from Necker Island and from Richard Branson. Um, what's on Not from starting, or if you would know everything what's coming up on the way, what you're doing, what we said, it has to do with a bit to be naive.
yeah.
If we would know all the pain and all the challenges that
You
are
wouldn't have
coming
done
on the
it.
way, you would never do it. So
Yeah.
so screw it, let's do it. Let's make it, screw something, and then learn out of it and do it further. I believe that's a big impact on. Everyone tells you that, but that's the game. And if a billionaire, which is 73 years old, which is uh, super happy, super business active still, super humble to all the people, and very grounded. It felt like he's a normal guy, like or normal guy, a crazy guy that stays normal in a group and never had big allures or something that, hey, I'm the superhero and who are you? So that was very great to see it. Hey, let's do it. Very humble. And the third one I would say was my personal learning. If you want to scale your company, you need to take the people, not building the process in a company and then try to find people that take over. You need to find people that have the same vision and goal and dream that you have, take them on the process, maybe on a hand in the first time, but that they learn how to do the process, because
Mm.
then you have people that can develop your company and scale it up with you, and not people that just run a process. Because in our fast living world with AI, with every
Yeah,
Web3
process
always coming,
oriented
we need
is
people, we need people that can.
system. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's you're a risk taker for sure, Tony. How did you come up with this family business? And does it help to work with family, or is it? Are you always working at home, at work, right? How is this? Because I know I started from, oh, it was more like, hey, the market doesn't understand me, and plus my son needs me a lot. I need to be able to shape my own journey, my work journey, and so I'm going to do it myself. So my I don't know how you got into this. Tell us.
Mm, we decide pretty we before we started the company. We decide, hey, are we ready? What's the best case? What can happen?
Yeah.
What feels right now, what we are into today, and what's the worst case. If you're talking about challenges, if a company runs good, in the normal way, everyone is happy. We have a good mood. We're running. We're growing. Of course, we had times when it was like on the growth, on bad times, on
Mm.
COVID. We had
Yeah.
times like, hey, where our company will be, or where it's going. Is it existing in 12 months? At some points, we had through the growth that we have, which was pretty fast. On some points, we have cultural problem. We had financing problems on to make the growth. We're
Yeah.
always very profitable, but if you grow like 2 million in 1 year, that was in the beginning a big scale for us. To have that, hey, you need to have that in mind. What's happening?
Yeah.
Team culture, financial, and all the stuff. And then, of course, you have talks that are not easy, because also I do mistakes, the other family members do mistakes, and then it's always a mix, how you don't take it personal,
Yeah.
and how you can be professional. And of course, that's a mix. It's always. And we never made the rule on a Sunday evening table. Of course, we talk also about business,
Yeah.
but we try to have I would say, for I believe, for normal people who don't have family businesses, it's way too much how much we talk about business. But for us, we find a good way to have normal conversations about everything a family is talking,
Yeah.
and trying to bring in some ideas. We have one rule. We try to talk about big topics
Mm.
and big visions, and not operative challenges or problems on the table. If we are not in a business context,
Conceptual. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's helping a lot. But to go from one learning, what you see in Richard, if people know what's he doing and seeing videos of him, he's a he's one of the most passionate human being and connected to entrepreneurial things that I ever met in person. And if you like what you do, if you can identify yourself with the purpose and
Mhm.
everything what we do, um, uh, it's fun to talk about it. It's also fun to talk about with family and friends, and sharing the ideas we have. And one
Yeah.
personal thing, Rebecca, which I would love to share with you and the people. I have a business goal, and I have a personal goal. Business goal, sustainable returns, what we talked about, and personal is, I believe you're also a bit in that type. You're not fitting exactly in our normal system and society. You're a bit
An
I just
outlier.
say
Yeah.
it. And I had that too, from wearing a hat, wearing fancy colored stuff, having too much energy, having too much power, and all that things don't help you in the first years of your life. Not as child if you have too much energy, not in school, not in the beginning of work life. When I came like that to bank meetings, and they looked at me,
Yeah.
are you an artist or a clown or whatever? That didn't
A
help on the first
magician.
year. Yeah, now it's cool. It's they know, hey, he's not only fancy clothing, he's an
He runs
entrepreneur.
a business. Yeah.
But in the beginning, that was like, I started always by -10. And so
Yeah.
I believe today we're 43 people in our company,
Well
and what
done.
my personal goal is, hey, we want to build and have a platform that people who don't as exactly fit into the normal system can grow daily on a personal and entrepreneurial base. You
Oh,
know,
what? You're going to have an accelerator now for founders? Are you thinking about being an angel investor or something like
uh,
that?
I believe we have really a platform. We have former Meta, Facebook employees. We have people who didn't run in a normal system, and because I can me as leader, I can be the leader and share that culture and share that DNA that I had. And a bit, of course, it's also a bit against the system. If everyone has a normal system, we build
You're
another
going the
system.
other way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And people, there is a it's I believe this thing is growing. People like you and me can identify with that one so much, and that gives you such a, to make it a bit different than normal. And we have today the platform and the culture that people um, are very, very in a good mood working in our company, because they feel that vibe and that spirit. And
It doesn't feel
uh,
like work, what we were talking about in the
yeah,
beginning. I think it's also a team dynamic. Like with my team, our team meetings are fun. It's not about it's more about sharing ideas than anything else. And why don't you tell us also, just mindful of time, I would love to know all about this experience. And I think it's probably changed you as a person, as a professional, to meet people that have accomplished so much and are so humble. It's really an experience that you will take for life, I'm sure. But is there anything that you were able to kind of unlock for yourself, that you feel like, okay, now I'm gonna go and do whatever was blocking you or scaring you away, that now you're back, I'm gonna tackle this? Yeah.
something what's not touchable for people, but it's the energy. If you or that if you can surround yourself with people, with like-minded people, with people have even much bigger um ambitious, or even came a lot more far than you are today with the business, that's so inspiring. You can take that as, oh my God, where I am, I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
there,
you
they're all
can.
bigger.
Yeah.
You can take it in a negative way, but you
Yeah.
can take it as motivation way. And I talked with Richard and all the entrepreneurs which are way bigger than my business today. But I ask them always, hey, how you do it? What was your intention when you were 30 years old? How you scaled your business? How it was from 40 people growing to 100 people, and all that matters. I had so much insights that maybe not help me directly today, but will help me on the way I am to grow the business, and what I can take with. If anyone has the chance to have an interview with you, to have meeting people and exchanging yourself on an amazing level and a good network. I'm connected now to Richard Branson, but to 37 very, very cool entrepreneurs that
Mm.
that have the chance that I can go back, And we had such a beautiful time on Necker Island, next to business
Wow.
and workshops. We did also like tennis, surfing, and all that. You're connected to them, and if I call them, it's the same with you. We have a great time in Davos. If I need any favor, um,
Yeah.
I would ask you, and I believe you would open me the door. And if you have anyone, I would open the door if I have any chance for you. And that's something. And what I take next to business, what I learned from Mitchell, how important it is um, to have that balance. On sometimes I was so stuck that was the first 2 weeks away. I was 1 week on Mackinac Island and 1 week in Miami. That was the first 2 weeks when I went out 6 years ago from our business. I was always hustling
Online
hard,
and
and it's super. I love it, but at the same time, that trip, these 2 weeks, gave me so much energy, which
yeah.
I have now, and also
Mm.
can transform to the team because everyone I say hello, I say with that face hello, and then they even if they don't want, they need to take the energy out because
Yeah.
it's like a firework. Um what I want to say with that one is like I take specific time out. For me it's sport.
Yeah.
I go wants to go over lunch playing tennis and don't have a bad feeling, because if I
Yeah.
go 2 hours away to go play tennis and eat lunch, I will be so much more productive in the
The
afternoon than I
afternoon,
when
yeah.
I just in the
The office
tunnel.
all day, every day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I believe that was a learning, and I would have so much learnings. I had yesterday an interview just about the learnings from my time in Necker Island. um
Oh,
uh,
I want to
um,
watch that.
yeah,
Send it to me.
I will try it. It's got filmed, and in the next week it will be released. So,
Okay, we
so
can share it here also with our
yeah.
followers and the audience. Well, I don't know. You want to share some last words of wisdom before we end the talk? It felt like it went so
Yes.
fast. Honestly, Tony, I could hang out with you. We need to find time to do that face to face. But is there anything that you want to leave with our audience, with people who are in doubt or who are, I we have a very vast variety of people watching us. So people who are in the industry in 9 to 5, but also founders, job seekers. Um, I really like the focus that you have put on energy and how this is kind of guiding you to make decisions. Maybe this is something that we can all learn from, and it's across every function in every industry. Like, but how do you identify that? Right? It's not so. It feels untangible. Yeah.
Mm, mm, I have 4 questions that people can challenge themselves if they are on a good path.
Okay. Tell us.
And I would say what you're good in. What
Okay.
can you do good? What you love to do.
Okay.
Or for me, I'm a good representator. I love having interviews, talking about my vision, trying to put my dream into reality, and then what the world needs. Hey,
Yeah.
we need a better solution for the returns, and
Yeah.
then how can I monetize that? How can I make money with that? So
Oh
what you
yeah,
love.
the ikigai. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of it's the
Yeah.
easiest way. It was with Jojo. We had a workshop on Necker Island about the ikigai.
Yeah.
It's the easy principle to challenge everyone, and 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 in the beginning also, to be honest, at the beginning I hadn't that clear picture. I needed 10 years to make 2 sentence: sustainable returns, create a place for people who don't fit in system, and grow, to make it very easy. And that it's a process. You need to start now. On what are you waiting? The time. um, I heard once a good thing: the best time to start to build a tree was 20 years ago, to grow a tree. And the second best opinion is to plant it now.
Yeah.
It's like, and with that I want to say, look what you love to do, and it will never come a better timing than now.
Hmm.
um
Wonderful.
yeah, yeah, I hope that inspires someone, or just to make a push or an impact. And on my social media channels I try to share some little pieces, mainly in German. But I try to share little pieces of maybe ass kicks that motivate people to do the first step or to do the next step.
Thank you so much, Tony, for being with us today. I cannot wait to meet you again soon, and all of this wisdom will be very helpful, and I'm sure people will reach out to you directly and message you here on LinkedIn, on Instagram. This is going to be recorded also on YouTube, so people can save it and watch it later. It's also on our Facebook platform, so it's easy to find you now. And
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
yeah, thank you for your time. It's always great to talk to you. And your brand is so on point, by the way. I love the hat, love the shirt, the t-shirt, not the t-shirt, but the jackets. You always have the best jackets. I tried to be original today, but nowhere close to you, nowhere near. But yeah, this is all very memorable and super energizing. So thank you for bringing all of that energy to us. Yeah.
I thank you a lot for your energy. It pushed me. I'm super motivated. It's already. I started that day on 6 o'clock. Went to swimming by 0 degrees
Oh my God,
in a lake tune. So I'm pretty early up, and
you're pumped.
it's a long day. But this was a very great afternoon boost for me, and I'm
Oh,
yeah
thank
very
you.
happy that we could spend that hour together.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for watching, and don't hesitate to ask. We'll be online. We're always online. So that's it. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. You too. See you. See you soon, Rebecca. Bye bye.
Bye bye.